by the quality and standard of their training, are capable of bringing all the current threats and criminalities to an end. He spoke at the Diamond Jubilee of the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna State, charging the force not to relent in safeguarding the territorial integrity of Nigeria against all threats. He assured them of his administration's commitment to their welfare, as well as unflagging support in the discharge of their duties. The NDA, which was established in 1964, has undergone various stages of transformation in its quest to fulfill its mandate of training officers for the armed forces. The Minister of State for Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, says the Nigerian government was taking a bold step to revamp the economy. He was speaking to senators at an interactive session recently in Abuja.
Today, despite the eagerness to confront some of the challenges that are facing us, all of you commendably appreciated that the bold choices that were made were necessary to reposition our country. However, choices that are made or not made or are being made occasionally require calibration and other supportive measures in order for the gains to be felt. We feel very encouraged, and I'm sure we'll do more.
The Nigerian Senate, however, raised apprehension over the high cost of food items in the country. The lawmakers who spoke at an interactive session with members of the federal government's economic team called on the government to come to the rescue of citizens.
It's a good thing, but I'm afraid it will wipe out what has been recorded so far in terms of food security. We have all it takes to grow enough food for us in this country. My people in Abuja and their counterparts in Ajaokuta and those in Jalingo, they do not care about the MPC rate that is coming up in February. They are not at home with nuances of the foreign reserve. The question they want me to ask the economic team, where will this pain subside?
As the federal government is set to roll out support for farmers in the country. This was revealed by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, in Abuja.
Like we all know, insecurity and even fuel costs, but we're trying to assiduously work with the Minister of Finance to support. The President has already given us his support on the second phase, and we intend to do anywhere between 200 and 250,000 hectares for rice alone in the dry season farming. I think it's an issue of economics between supply and demand. But what we are faced with, unfortunately, is we have to see how we can secure food for our 230 million people. If we can secure the land and have farmers go back to the farms, I'm sure we can do it. We have 70 million hectares available in Nigeria. So these are the challenges that we find ourselves in.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has declared Margaret Emefiele, wife of the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and 3 others wanted for money laundering. Mrs. Emefiele, Mr. Eric Odo, Anita Omiole, and her husband Jonathan Omoile were declared wanted on Friday night for allegedly conspiring with the former CBN governor to convert huge sums of money belonging to the federal government of Nigeria. They are accused of obtaining money by false pretenses and stealing contrary to and punishable under the Criminal Act. The Nigerian government yesterday told Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress that it remained committed to the full implementation of all agreements reached within them. But the government said in response to the 14-day ultimatum issued by the 2 labor groups that it was not practicable to implement all the agreements in one fell swoop. The NLC, on its own reaction to criticism of its threats to go on strike at the expiration of the ultimatum, said it does not necessarily enjoy embarking on strike and that it calls out workers only to correct the wrongs in the country. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Oyejocha, said the government had no intention of reneging on the content of the Memorandum of Understanding signed with the two labour centres.
The government is assuring Nigerians of its continued commitment to addressing labour concerns and fulfilling all agreements as we move forward together. The government would also like to assure the organized labour of its commitment to maintaining open and constructive communication with them to foster positive labour relations and guarantee a supportive working environment for all workers.
And on the foreign scene, violent protests in Senegal against the postponement of presidential elections have spread across the country, with the first fatality reported. A student died in clashes with police on Friday in the northern city of St. Louis, an opposition leader and a local hospital source said. In the capital, Dakar, security forces fired tear gas to disperse the crowd. The 25th February elections were delayed until December 15th, with President Macky Sall denying clinging on to power. And in sport, ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations final, President Bola Tinubu has directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to lead a presidential team to Ivory Coast for the crunch game between the Super Eagles and the Elephants of Ivory Coast. Statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communication, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nwocha, said President Tinubu believes that Shettima's presence at the finals alongside the delegation is a testament to the government's unwavering support for the team and its dedication to their success. He said the federal government has also called on Nigerians, both at home and abroad, to unite in support of the Super Eagles and to raise their voices in encouragement by creating a wave of national pride that propels the team to glory. And that's the Citizen FM News at 6. I'm Lawrence Omoite. Good evening.